Welcome to Here's to Your Health with Joshua Lane. Here's to Your Health discusses the current thinking in wellness, bringing you the most influential thinkers in beauty, fitness, and longevity. Your host, Joshua Lane, was part of the Dr. Ann Wigmore team that helped bring wheatgrass sprouts and raw foods to a worldwide audience. And now the host of Here's to Your Health, Joshua Lane.
Welcome to this edition of Here's to Your Health. I'm your host, Josh Lane. Health Unlimited. Got troubled skin? Get healthier, more beautiful skin with AlloLife. Karen Masterson Koch will share the latest skin statistics and the steps to take to improve digestion and detox the body with aloe, and why a therapeutic aloe like AlloLife works better than other aloe vera products. I've learned from AlloLife that every aloe product on the market is made differently. Most products are weak and watered down. That's not the case with AlloLife Aloe Gold and the AlloLife Tropical Skin Gel. It's a concentrated line that you can feel them work. Our guest, Karen Masterson Koch, is a health educator, a clinical nutritionist, having worked one-on-one with patients for over 40 years. Karen is the author of 2 important books about wellness and nutrition. Karen Masterson Koch is a pioneer studying gluten and inflammatory disease, including anti-aging, and Karen has worked at clinics, including the famous Livingston Medical Immunology and Allergy Clinic in San Diego, California. Karen Masterson Koch saw disease-ridden bodies reverse disease and become healthier. This motivated Karen to continue her studies of reliable health research, including aloe vera having over 3,000 studies on aloe vera and rejuvenation. It led Karen Masterson Koch to develop AlloLife in 1991, the number 1 most effective aloe products. AlloLife uses certified organic leaves in every product, and that's important. I also enjoy using the AlloLife daily, including the AlloLife Aloe Gold Juice, the concentrate. I use an ounce daily, and I also use the AlloLife Skin Gel formula. This truly has improved my teenage acne scars, and my acne scars improved noticeably. Karen writes about 21 other conditions in her book, Gift of Nature. The whole leaf aloe vera clinical applications are available on the AlloLife website, or you can email info@allolife.com. That's allolife.com. Well, Karen Masterson Koch, welcome to the show. People who would like to improve their health and skin, you're the expert on skin issues, on aloe, and how processed food and careless habits can bring on troubled skin and early aging. Now, my question really is, why do AlloLife products work so quickly for troubled skin?
Well, hello, and thank you, Josh. It's always great to share easy steps to prevent this pain and suffering with skin issues, failing health, and early aging, especially as we begin a new year. We all want healthier, more beautiful skin and body. And to answer your question first, Josh, of why the Aloe Gold Juice Concentrate works so quickly for skin support without the addition of anything new, friends, it's because there's over 100 actives from the plant that AlloLife doesn't filter out, that works as a team to first target the pain, infection, and speed up the slow healing of skin. And in the gut, too. When you drink the Aloe Gold Concentrate, it can multitask, friends, supporting weak digestion, including any autoimmune inflammation, too, as with irritable bowel syndrome, and supports possible blood sugar imbalances, too, as with prediabetes or diabetes. There's actually 7 studies with a quality aloe, like Aloe Gold, reversing blood sugar back to normal. I often mention that, you know that, because diabetes actually adds to more pain and grief in the body, Josh, with more skin issues, along with food abuse and poor digestion. You know, a good example was my young 10-year-old daughter, Dawn, years ago, living with destructive autoimmune IBS in her gut. It caused her face to become so inflamed, friends, very painful, until I did a diet change, removing sugar, oatmeal, not good, and cow's milk that helped reduce her gut inflammation, IBS, and also the addition, adding the 1 ounce of AlloLife Aloe Gold Juice Concentrate, plus applying the skin gel topically, and the face and body lotion. It's so amazing. By Aloe Life, too, allowed her beautiful skin to come back. A true victory story. It's very close to my heart. And you know my story, too, being a nature lover, Josh, in California. I've had my share of sunburns, friends, leading to several skin cancers that required surgery. Very humbling. And it reinforced me how important prevention is, with the experts reporting just one bad sunburn. Even snow skiing this time of year can be a real catalyst for skin cancer in future years, 5 to 10 years later. However, for me, being preventative, adding a few skin supplements with drinking Aloe Life Aloe Gold juice too, it's smart. And it gave me extra protection to my skin, avoiding early aging, which I don't want either. So that's why I take my own advice to eat healthier, take a few extra supplements, exercise, drink water, keep regular elimination with my morning shot of Aloe Gold concentrate, just 1 to 2 ounces. That really helps to optimize digestion and regularity. And it increases my energy too. And it's the excellent research of human bioavailability studies supports quality aloe, like Aloe Gold, to increase absorption of the healthy skin vitamins, and it increases absorption up to 300% of A and D and C and E, critical for all skin types. That's winning with Aloe Life. And I just got my all clear from my dermatologist, Josh. Hallelujah.
Karen, our guest is Karen Masterson Koch, the founder of Aloe Life. Karen, you make the case that a therapeutic aloe like Aloe Gold concentrate works in the body faster and more effectively than any other aloe vera product on the market. Now, is this because the Aloe Life only harvests the older, more mature plants, and these plants, it develops the dark golden yellow sap, and only from certified organic fields?
Yes, Josh, and Aloe Life is not diluted and gets to work in 5 minutes. There's a big difference, friends, in aloe on the market, and it's important these days, Josh, to look for the dark golden yellow color, proving that all the 25 first aid actives are in the product of skin gel and the Aloe Gold concentrate, both, with each bottle equal to 4 bottles, gently concentrated 4 times, because Aloe Life doesn't overfilter or overheat the juice, just gently concentrates with 25 pounds of aloe leaves, including the medicinal yellow sap that we're talking about, that still contains the phenolic compounds, which is the bitter that stimulates digestive juices to flow into the stomach, reducing bloating and pain, along with 5 natural anti-inflammatory agents for the skin, reducing body redness called sterols, easing pain. Even arthritic joints benefit, and reduces burning of the skin, throat, and GI tract. And topically, skin gel works soothing pain on the body because it's made from the Aloe Gold concentrate juice, with more added skin nutrients of vitamin A, C, and E, plus chamomile in the skin gel for troubled skin. Aloe Gold and skin gel work as a team for hundreds of applications, friends. Even brushing one's teeth. I got a real okay from my dentist just recently, too, that I'm doing the right thing using the skin gel after my toothpaste. The products are not clear like water, as many new Me Too products coming out that really fool the customers, Josh, by stating organic aloe, but they're extremely weak, friends, testing very low potency in all these actives. And some even test 0, Josh, stating water first in the ingredients. That's not aloe. And a rule of thumb is if a product, juice, or topicals tastes weak or watery, you can bet they're not going to do much to stop the damage, sunburn, inflamed skin issues, or speed the healing with the growth factors, gibberellin, that you saw that are awesome, including antimicrobial action from Ace Mannan, testing 15 times stronger in the Aloe Gold to fight against any viruses, bacteria, and fungus on the skin, even dry skin patches, keratosis that shows precancer, or the flu bug. I love Aloe Life products. Multitasking, they really get fast results.
Our guest is Karen Masterson Koch, the founder of Aloe Life. Karen, can you share the report of skin conditions that have been increasing in 2025 with our listeners?
Yes, you bet, Josh. And watching any TV these days, every other ad is for skin conditions, suggesting pharmaceutical drugs. Yet, even though you may get some initial help, friends, they come with extreme side effects. And skin issues are all linked to nutritional deficiencies and the body's need to cleanse and detox the liver, which you get from Aloe Life products to avoid the skyrocketing statistics in 2025 by the American Academy of Dermatology, which states 1 in 3 people of all ages with inflammatory dermatitis these days, including eczema, psoriasis, dandruff, fungus, jock itch, vaginal infections, rashes, viral infections like herpes simplex virus, hemorrhoids, and ulcers too. And the big increase was with acne linked to poor diet and hormones. That's really traumatic, yet easy for Aloe Life products to help, like you dealt with as a teen, Josh. It affects up to 80% of ages 12 through 24 now, and doctors only recommend tetracycline antibiotics that don't get at the root cause of hormone imbalance and poor diet and a need to detox. And with the rising skin cancer, too, that touches almost everyone today, whether you're in an outdoor person like my husband and myself or not, the report shows 105,000 new skin cancers, including melanoma skin cancer, off the charts. And that's scary stuff. That's life-threatening, friends. So take action. And second, very popular topical product by Aloe Life, too, you may consider called Personal Gel with extra vitamin E. It's a healthy sex lubricant. It's so silky and healthy, multitasking. Both products are very popular, friends, giving rescue to troubled skin issues, each with their added herbs and antioxidant formulas that work naturally, like no other products on the market. Very strong, silky, soothing, calming pain, and partnering with aloe gold juice, 1 to 2 ounces on the inside, so it's easy, taking care of the inside and outside skin, addressing all conditions like flaky, itchy, painful ulcers, inflammation, and wounds too, even stages 1 through 4, as in the Aloe Life wound study, with all 150 diabetic wounds were famous. Yes, with skin gel, #1 topical worldwide, saving lives because people die from wounds that don't heal, friends. Choose Aloe Life skin gel or personal gel.
Karen, the statistics now show that 80% of young people have acne. Now, I had teenage acne, and it was stressful. You know, it's stressful for us. And I'm happy to share how using the skin gel topically by Aloe Life reversed the scarring that I had for many years, and I was surprised at how well it worked. It's an excellent product by Aloe Life, and the Aloe Life Skin Gel. I also use the Aloe Gold Concentrate Juice. I use 1 ounce daily with a meal, and that helps me.
Thanks, Josh. I really do love your story about reversing acne scars. You're not the only person I've worked with skin gel, and patients are often given antibiotics, not the healthiest, that lead to constipation and actually lower immunity. Check out the Aloe Life Fibermate, friends, that contain a strong gut replenishing probiotics by Aloe Life Fibermate, along with developing healthy eating habits, as with the Mediterranean diet. Wouldn't you agree, Josh?
Yes, Karen, I certainly agree. Eating is paramount, and then if you use Aloe Life aloe vera products, you really can help yourself. And I'm happy to say that Aloe Life has a 36-year track record on the market and has a 5-star rating on Amazon, has an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau on all the Aloe Life. That is 17 great products because they get results. And the Aloe Life is the best buy in aloe. It's classified as a superfood, and it's 100% safe. Karen, do you have any customer testimonials you'd like to share?
Oh, yes, indeed, Josh. If I can share one of my favorite testimonies on the skin protocol today of a man literally covered with skin cancers, really quick, which I met this gentleman a few years back in our local co-op while training the staff, giving samples. And with a full shopping cart of healthy foods, he asked me about Aloe Life and what I was sampling, which I shared Aloe Gold Juice Concentrate. And he laughed, asking, "You can drink it?" Yes, I said, and it's great for digestion and body health and energy, including skin. And I see you eat healthy, yet you've developed some keratoses, rough, dry precancer on your face. He said, yes, but it's no big deal. I just get them burned off. And proceeded to slide his shirt sleeve back, friends. He was covered with skin cancers, must have been 25 to 30. That's when I handed him the sample cup of AlloGold 4X concentrate and said, you obviously are not absorbing those delicious nutrients from your foods in your basket, a variety of proteins and veggies needed for the skin. And he purchased the AlloGold to take 2 ounces daily. And within 10 days, friends, he called my office in disbelief. Yet seeing is believing. He stated the products are working, mending skin cancers, taking AlloGold concentrate by AlloLife. And 3 months later, I saw him in the market again. And he looked 10 years younger, friends. I blurted out, you look amazing, a bit embarrassed. And he said, no worries. My friends are all commenting how much more youthful I look as well. AlloLife to the rescue.
Well, Karen, that was a nice victory, wasn't it? It really was. Karen, is there a second study to encourage listeners with early aging to use the AlloLife products?
Yes, thanks. One newer study out of 3,000 studies worldwide on quality aloe is fondly called the wrinkle study for men and women. And even though you can begin to feel the AlloLife products get to work in 5 minutes because they're all concentrated using the AlloGold and Skin Gel partners, this study was over 3 months testing blood and the snapback of sagging skin that causes wrinkles. 70 participants, the median age 50 years, drank equivalent of 2 ounces of the AlloGold daily, and it's best before meals, friends, as an herbal bitter. And eat healthy too. And after 3 months, Josh, Allo Magic, 30% more type 1 collagen was produced in their blood, giving significant tightening of the skin on the body and backs of the hands. It's so cool, friends. I can barely get a hold of any extra skin on myself, and everyone gets results with AlloGold. It works, and it's motivation in a bottle, building new skin from head to toe.
Karen, what AlloLife products do you suggest for children on a daily basis?
Oh, that's a good question, Josh. AlloLife products are 100% safe with children and pets too, with the refreshing tart bitter taste of AlloGold, yet most children enjoy the delicious fruit juice flavored aloes of 20% cherry berry or orange papaya fruit juice in the base of the AlloGold 4X concentrate, supporting all digestion, IBS, even reflux symptoms too, for all ages, supporting bowel regularity, healthy detox, immunity, and skin health too. It's really winning with AlloLife products for the whole family, including pets with our animal aloe too.
Wow, that's very nice to hear. It's really beautiful. And we managed to get more beautiful, healthier skin and body with AlloLife products for 2026. The satisfaction is guaranteed. So we can go to www.allolife.com to view the complete line of AlloLife products and read the articles on the website as well. When purchasing any products from AlloLife, please use the health code 20 at checkout for the radio discounts of 20% on any of the AlloLife 17 products with an extra bundle savings, including the Detox Plus and their certified organic daily greens. The super savings, we get them at www.allolife.com. At checkout, use the code HEALTH20 for a 20% discount to get started today. Or you can call, if you have a question, and to order in person, please call 800-414-ALLO. That's 800-414-2563. 1-800-414-2563. And you can, of course, please email at orders@allolife.com. That's orders@allolife.com. And remember to ask for the special healthy handouts, including healthier skin, back to basic skincare for the whole family, healthier weight gain, and detox too with Aloe Life. The Aloe Life products are available nationwide in over 2,000 health food stores, including Fraser Farms, Clark's, Mother's, Natural Grocers, Lassen's, Amazon, and of course online at VitaCost. Don't settle for less. Get the best. Aloe Life. If it tastes like water, it's not Aloe Life. And also, please email Karen Masterson Cook at Karen, Karen, at aloelife.com. That's Karen at aloelife.com. If you have a question, you can also, again, please speak to Karen or the staff. Call 1-800-414-ALOE. That's 1-800-414-2563. Choose health today. Choose Aloe Life for a healthier life for the whole family. Aloe Life, aloe vera. This is Josh Lane. You're listening to Here's to Your Health. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back after these important messages.
Hi friends, Monica Brandt here for Aloe Life #1 in aloe vera. As a professional international athlete for over 30 years between track, ninja, and fitness, I want to remind you of daily exercise plus Aloe Life, my daily wake up to look and feel your best. Aloe Life products boosted victory for me in 2016, winning first place World's European Union figure. See aloelife.com athletes. Plus workouts are easier too with Aloe Life products for digestion, energy, and stamina for success, or even dropping weight. It's so easy, friends, to choose a winning team. Aloe Gold or Detox Plus with certified organic daily green superfoods by Aloe Life. Be your own best athlete with Aloe Life products that work fast. aloelife.com or 1-800-414-ALOE. Choose Aloe Life today, friends. I'm glad I did. This is Monica Brandt, Fitness Olympia champion and fan of Aloe Life for over 10 years. Aloe Life since 1991.
Thank you for listening to the show. If you have suggestions for guests or topics you would like to hear, please email me at joshlane.wellness@gmail.com. That's joshlane.wellness@gmail.com. JOSHLANE wellness@gmail.com. On behalf of the cast and crew, I would like to wish you a healthy and safe good evening.
The latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers, with your host, the insane Daryl Wayne.
This is Alice Cooper, and if Daryl Wayne is insane, what does that make me? Criminally insane. Stick around to find out.
Many of the artist interviews for the latest from the greatest have been captured on audiobook. There is a Volume 1 and Volume 2. Great information and conversations with people in the industry and people surrounded by the industry, and of course the rock stars themselves.
I'm the Reverend Al Green, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne. And I said Wayne Insane.
You can find it on Amazon or Blackstone Audio. Search for the latest from the greatest from Daryl Wayne, DARRELLWAYNE.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne, aren't you?
Welcome to this edition of Here's to Your Health. I'm your host, Josh Lane. My guest is John Leake, and John Leake is the author of a new book called Vaccines, Mythology, Ideology, and Reality, written by John Leake in conjunction with Peter McCullough, the MD, who is so active and so enormously helpful in his discussion of the origins of COVID and what we can really do to help ourselves. John Leake, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Very happy to have you on the show. By way of background on John Leake, John's first book, Entering Hades, The Double Life of a Serial Killer, was a New York Times Sunday Book Review Editor's Choice, a Men's Vogue Best Book of 2007, and the inspiration of the infernal comedy starring John Malkovich. John's second book, Cold a Long Time, an Alpine Mystery, was winner of the 2012 Independent Publishers Award, and the German translation was a bestseller in Austria. John Leake's investigative work has been the subject of numerous television documentaries produced by A&E Biography, Discovery, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's Fifth Estate, and the Austrian Broadcasting Corporation. In March of 2020, when SARS-CoV-2 started to spread in the United States, John Leake realized that the pandemic response was flawed, possibly criminal. He found it especially suspicious how quickly public health officials dismissed repurposed medications such as ivermectin. In November of 2020, he watched a video of Dr. Peter McCullough's U.S. Senate testimony about early treatment. He saw that Dr. McCullough was likely to lead the way in developing a more honest response to the crisis. John Leake, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's kind of a long journey. I've gone from being primarily a true crime investigator to being, I would call it, an organized crime investigator with respect to U.S. government policy. And I, at the risk of sounding taking a kind of aggressive stab as an opener, I do think that the pandemic response, particularly as it pertained to the rollout of this messenger RNA COVID-19 vaccine, I do think it has distinct elements of organized crime and racketeering. My true crime investigative skills, I think, were pertinent to writing the two books that I've written with Dr. McCullough. The first one was about the suppression of early treatment for COVID-19, and the second is a historical critical evaluation of vaccines.
Right. Our guest is John Leake. John Leake, the author of a brand new book called Vaccines, Mythology, Ideology, and Reality, published by Skyhorse Publishing. Skyhorse does a real nice job in having really some remarkable books now that we all, need to read, frankly. So, John, with your background in true crime and all the years you've been investigating that woman in Houston who murdered her husbands and, all these things you've done, I'm not trying to be flip, but that actually really did give you a sense of what we humans are capable of, frankly. And so please tell me, what was it that triggered your interest that indeed you felt a COVID response was not accurate?
Well, I should say that since I was a boy, I've been very interested in military history. Since I was in graduate school, I became very interested in the Cold War. And there was a particular communique to the American people that has long fascinated me. I'm speaking of President Dwight Eisenhower's farewell address of 1961, in which he warned the American people about the undue influence of what he called the military-industrial complex. That's often quoted. That's kind of a famous Eisenhower quote. But he also talks about the scientific intellectual elite. And Eisenhower said, these guys have so much power and influence that reaches into every single institution in this republic. If we are going to maintain the integrity of our democratic representative government institutions, we need to keep a very wary eye on the military and industrial complex and the scientific intellectual elite. And so when we were told that this airborne respiratory virus, SARS-CoV-2, had apparently emerged, and the original story was it emerged from nature in China through natural evolution, I quickly perceived these guys aren't telling the truth about any of this. And so, if you study criminal behavior for a long time, which I have, you begin to notice patterns of fraud. Fraud is the key element of all crime because he who commits crime has to conceal it. So fraudulent statements, fraudulent actions are all part of all crime. And I had a hunch that pretty much everything we were being told wasn't true, starting with the origin of the virus. It was very evident to me very quickly that this came out of a lab. And I was astonished that Anthony Fauci and his virologist friends were so avid in trying to conceal that. It was a very awkward lie. Then the relentless propaganda. And then where I realized, okay, these guys are really lying now, was this totally gratuitous suppression of early treatment modalities. I mean, these are FDA drugs with some of the best safety profiles in the business. I mean, ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine are both on the WHO's list of essential medication. I mean, billions of doses have been safely taken and tolerated. So this was a lie. So, why is our government lying to us so much? Pretty much lying about everything. And, what became evident is there was a very large complex, part of the military, an adjunct of the military-industrial complex. I call it the biopharmaceutical complex, but it works very closely with the Department of Defense. And they were all revved up to roll out their new messenger RNA vaccines. And they were going to do it come hell or high water. And this respiratory viral illness was their big chance. Right. And they weren't going to let anybody get in the way. So you strip away all the lies, and it's actually a fairly simple story.
Our guest is John Leake. John Leake, the author of a new book published this fall called Vaccines, Mythology, Ideology, and Reality, published by Skyhorse Publishing. The book was written by John Leake in conjunction with Peter McCullough, the MD, who has done remarkably very good work. John, may I ask, for the listeners who just heard your presentation, they might think, well, okay, how can he back that up? So now, didn't the two men who discovered or invented ivermectin, didn't they win the Nobel Prize for that in 2015?
They did. Satoshi Amora discovered the bacterium. It's a soil bacterium. And then his colleague, William Campbell at Merck Labs, then figured out a way how to synthesize the active molecule. And it was a Nobel Prize winning wonder drug. There's actually a memorial in front of the WHO, a beautiful statue of an African man who's blind. He's being led by a little boy. It's a very poignant statue. And it's a memorial to Satoshi Amora. So to come out and say that this is dangerous, right, it's just utterly preposterous. It's criminally preposterous. It makes me mad just thinking about it.
Right.
And, the mechanism of ivermectin against SARS-CoV-2 was quickly discovered. The spike protein of the coronavirus has one of the proteins that's part of the spike. It's produced by the spike. It's called hemagglutinin. Hemagglutinin, and this has been understood since the 1930s, you can put a bunch of hemagglutinin into a test tube with red blood cells and just watch the red blood cells clump. Hence the Greek name. Hema means blood. Gluten, well, it's Greek and Latin. Hema means blood in Greek. Gluten means glue in Latin. It's blood glue. So what is ivermectin? What is one of the things that it does? It has a direct action against this hemaggluteinization of the red blood cells. So someone's having a hard time breathing. He's experiencing micro blood clots in his lungs because the red blood cells are clumping. You give him ivermectin, that breaks up this hemagglutinin, the action of the hemagglutinin, or it counteracts it. And the person starts feeling better. Well, this was the case evidence of hundreds of patients. I got my first dose of ivermectin, and within 12 hours, I found it easier to breathe. Take it to the bank.
Right.
Don't launch a propaganda campaign to smear the use of this drug. But that's what our government and its media lackeys, every single late night host, I think it was September the 21st, whatever that Saturday in September of 2021 was, Jimmy Kimmel, all of those creeps came out, same late night, same date, and they all smeared ivermectin. That is what's called flooding the zone.
Right.
And I just remember watching that and thinking, like, this is just a joke. I mean, are we back in the Soviet Union? I mean, is late night comedy now just a propaganda organ of the United States government, the CIA, and the Department of Defense? But I'm afraid that it is. That's the problem.
Wow. Our guest is John Leake, author of a brand new book called Vaccines, Mythology, Ideology, and Reality, published by Skyers Publishing. John, now, the things you're saying make perfect sense to me, and I completely agree. Now, besides slamming ivermectin, CDC was slamming it, why were they saying, oh, no, ivermectin is just, it's bad? Why were they attacking ivermectin again, a medication, and the men who discovered it in 2015, not a million years ago, received the Nobel Prize? So why was the attack on ivermectin so important from people like Anthony Fauci?
I'm going to tell you something that you'll probably have a hard time wrapping your mind around. Certainly your audience will. They attacked it because they were terrified that it worked.
Okay.
If it works, then the word gets out. We don't have to be terrified of COVID. If you're one of the tiny minority, far less than 1%, who gets into trouble with this, who presents, frightening clinical symptoms, shortness of breath, like you're having a hard time breathing. If you administer ivermectin early, well, even late, that's the remarkable thing about ivermectin. I collected hundreds of stories of ivermectin helping people in the advanced stage of sickness from this. But if it works, if there's a good drug for it, it's kind of like if you get a staphylococcal infection, it's not the end of the world. You can take antibiotics.
Right.
Cellulitis, out of control bacterial infection of the skin, that used to kill you. Now, if you see it, it's very alarming, but it's not the end of the world. You can go to a doctor or an ER and get antibiotics, and they work.
Right.
So the terror was, well, what if word gets out that COVID-19 is not a death sentence, even in severe cases, even in cases for elderly people? Then where does that leave the rollout of our vaccine? Right. And the terror of this whole vaccine religion is the terror, the fear of what is called vaccine hesitancy.
Right.
Vaccine hesitancy is where a rational adult says, okay, I'm being asked to line up to get injected with the substance of which I know nothing about. I'm not sure I'm entirely comfortable with that. What is the risk-benefit analysis of this vaccine? That unto itself, that rational question, is, technically speaking, a form of vaccine hesitancy. You're hesitating to line up and get injected into your deltoid muscle with an experimental substance. That's another element of this. I think the guys that rolled out this messenger RNA shot, I think they themselves were expecting far more resistance than they actually got. So it's an example of sort of overzealously taking action to overcome what you think is going to be resistance. And I have evidence of that. The head of Bayer Pharmaceuticals in Germany, a guy named Stefan Ulrich, he actually gave a talk to some medical conference at the end of 2021, or it was end of 21 or beginning of 22. And what he says, and I guess he's not thinking that somebody's videoing this or he doesn't think it's going to get out, he says, I don't know about you guys, but I was amazed at how people were so willing to line up to try an experimental gene therapy. If you'd asked me 2 years ago, I would have said that 90% of people would have hesitated to do that. So these guys who rolled this out were preparing for resistance, and they were doing every single thing in their power to stamp out hesitancy. So if there's something that you can take that, takes the edge off this, it's not the end of the world, that could prompt hesitancy. So we have to stamp it out. It's an example of fanaticism. This is fanaticism.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. For those just tuning into the show, our guest is the author John Leake, author of a brand new book called Vaccines, Mythology, Ideology, and Reality, published by Skyhorse Publishing. John Leake wrote this book in conjunction with Peter McCullough, the MD, who's doing such excellent work. Mr. Leake, the things you're saying are, seem very accurate and, carefully thought out. Obviously, you're a good researcher. Now, so if people had access to ivermectin and it worked, so then they couldn't roll out the new pharmaceutical drugs.
It's not that they couldn't roll it out. I think that point has been exaggerated a little bit. The legal framework, the idea is if there's an existing medication that has some efficacy, it's harder to get an emergency use authorization. I'm familiar with the thesis. These guys were going to roll this thing out come hell or high water. I mean, the Department of Defense in July of 2020 penned a multi-billion-dollar contract with Pfizer to buy a gazillion doses of the Pfizer shot before Pfizer's product had even gone through its stage 2 and 3 trials. I mean, it was a fait accompli. They knew it was going to work, quote unquote, and they were already inking the contract to buy it. So the whole business with suppression of early treatment, I go back to antibiotics. You get a strep throat infection. In the past, that could be very dangerous. It could spread to your heart valves and cause heart failure. But, now if a mama sees evidence that her child has strep, she doesn't have to panic. There's penicillin.
Right.
So I think that suppression of early treatment was a kind of fanatical response to the idea that what if there's vaccine hesitancy? What if this causes vaccine hesitancy?
Right. Our guest is the author John Leake, author of a new book called Vaccines, Mythology, Ideology, and Reality from Skyhorse Publishing, which is just really remarkable. John, we have a few minutes left in the interview. What are some of the ideas that you really think that we Americans need to know about this pandemic? What do you really want us to know that maybe a lot of us just never heard before?
Well, the first thing that everybody should understand is what is the origin of this. I mean, we're all archaically programmed to be terrified of nature and all of the terrifying things that could emerge from nature. A lot of this goes back to the 1918 Spanish influenza pandemic, which killed a lot of people, including young people. The first thing to understand is it's very unlikely, in my opinion, that we're going to see the emergence of a respiratory virus in nature, whether it be influenza or coronavirus, that has quite the same virulence on the one hand and the state of medical technology and care and the state of the world. Remember, 1918, the world was in shambles from the First World War. Right. I mean, you have millions of men coming out of trench warfare under the most dreadful conceivable conditions. Nutrition was impaired. So the threat of another 1918 Spanish influenza is grossly overblown, in my opinion.
Right.
Now, what we do need to be careful of are these virologists who are tinkering around with an influenza virus or a coronavirus and figuring out ways to make it both virulent and transmissible. That's what we need to be worried about. there's a biosecurity guy from Rutgers University named Richard E. Bright. He's been pounding the table about biosecurity for a long time. In fact, in 2017, Professor E. Bright was pounding the table about the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Wow. So wake up, everybody. What we got to worry about are these virologists and their labs.
Well, thank you very much. Our guest has been John Leake, author in conjunction with Peter McCullough of Vaccines, Mythology, Ideology, and Reality, published by Skyhorse Publishing. And I tell you the truth, I'm reading the book, and it's so nicely written, and it gives you such a good sense of the sweep of history in America and Europe that you realize fighting about healthcare is not a brand new problem. It's a problem going on since, I don't know, the past 300 or 400 years, certainly the past 300 years. It's quite amazing, and also sometimes for me a little disheartening to realize, oh, our current terrible predicament is not unique. It's just kind of every once in a while there's an explosion of illness, and we have different sides, sometimes just based on money, who want to promote one idea over another. Again, the book is Vaccines, Mythology, Ideology, and Reality by John Leake, and I'm a big fan of the book, and I recommend you read this book. This is Josh Lane. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back after these important messages.
Medical scientists worldwide are encouraging people to eat more fish. Most American diets are low in cold water fish that are abundant in important omega-3 oils. DHA and EPA are the vital components of fish oil that provide healthy benefits. Not only are they crucial for brain and vision development, they're very important for cardiovascular health. Carlson, America's leading Norwegian fish oil brand, specializes in both great-tasting soft gels that are easy to swallow and fish oil liquids that don't taste fishy. That's right, Carlson provides the most extensive line of fish oils to meet all your needs. You can take Carlson fish oils with confidence, for Carlson fish oils are tested for purity, potency, and freshness. Ask for Carlson Norwegian fish oils today. That's right, ask for Carlson Norwegian fish oils today.
Friends, say goodbye to rough, dry, and troubled skin. Even acne scars fade with Aloe Life Skin Gel by Aloe Life, not over-processed. So look for the dark yellow color, like the ancients wrote about, that gets to work fast in 5 minutes to 45 days. Skin Gel for more beautiful skin by Aloe Life. Call 800-414-ALOE. That's 800-414-ALOE. An A-plus Better Business Bureau company. Skin Gel available at Whole Foods, Clark's, Natural Grocers, other quality stores, plus AloeLife.com. 800-414-ALOE. That's 800-414-ALOE. Aloe Life, aloe vera. For you, 800-414-ALOE. Do something good for yourself. Zoom into the new year. Leaders in health products since 1991. Aloe Life, for a healthier life.
The latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers, with your host, the insane Daryl Wayne.
This is Alice Cooper, and if Daryl Wayne is insane, what does that make me? Criminally insane. Stick around to find out.
Many of the artist interviews for the latest from the greatest have been captured on audiobook. There is a Volume 1 and Volume 2. Great information and conversations with people in the industry and people surrounded by the industry, and of course the rock stars themselves.
I'm the Reverend Al Green, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne. And I said Wayne Insane.
You can find it on Amazon or Blackstone Audio. Search for the latest from the greatest from Daryl Wayne, Darrell Wayne.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne, aren't you?
Thank you for listening to the show. If you have suggestions for guests or topics you would like to hear, please email me at joshlane.wellness@gmail.com. That's joshlane.wellness@gmail.com. JOSHLANE wellness@gmail.com. On behalf of the cast and crew, I would like to wish you a healthy and safe good evening.